Welcome back to Split the Party. As always, I'm your host, Steve Osmond, and today we're going to talk about another social deduction game. I really love these kinds of games, and Resistance is one of the games that helped really get me into this genre. It is created by Don Eskridge and produced by Indie Boards and Cards. The idea behind Resistance is there is a resistance movement attempting to overthrow the government, and you are either playing members of that resistance movement or you're playing government spies, and that's what you're trying to figure out. Who is a spy? Who is a resistance member? To do that, you go through 5 rounds of the game, and you'll have the rounds will be slightly different based on how many player counts you've got. So for instance, here I have this set up for a 7-player count. In the first round, the first player is going to pick 2 people. He's going to give them little gun cards that denote they're the people going on the mission. Once he's said, I'm sending, for instance, me and Mark, everyone will silently and secretly to themselves take their 2 voting cards and then place one of them face down, whether they are approving of this setup or rejecting it. Once everyone has set them out and cast their ballot, then they all reveal at the same time, and it either passes or fails based on that vote. Then once you've gotten one to pass, all the people on the mission get these 2 cards, fail and success. So you're going to take these cards again, and if you are a loyal resistance member, you have only one choice: success. You want the mission to succeed. If you are a spy, you can play a success card, or you can play a fail card. Missions fail only if there is at least 1 fail card on the mission, unless it says differently. For instance, this one here says that 2 fails are required, so 2 people would have to play fail cards on that mission in order for it to fail. At the end of the first round, if it succeeds, this token will be placed with the blue side up, showing that the resistance has won. If the spies win, then the symbol here for the spies will be placed face up, and you do this for 5 different rounds. Now you can see in this setup, mission 2 would have 3 people on it, as would mission 3. Mission 4 and 5 would both have 4 people on it, but mission 4 would require 2 fails. It is possible obviously for these votes to not be approved. If a vote is rejected 5 times in a row, the spies win. They have held the resistance up for so long and basically made sure that the resistance couldn't make a decision for so long that they get themselves a win. We move on to the next round of the game. So as you're playing, you're paying attention to not only who are people picking to send on the missions, who has been on successful missions and on failed missions. Is it possible somebody might have been, playing back for a round? Maybe you are a spy in the first round. You threw off and you put a success in there so as not to draw attention to yourself. As the spies, you may try and be secretive, or you may try and throw one of your members under the bus and draw a bunch of attention to him so that the rest of the spies can get through and try and succeed at the mission. That's actually one of my favorite strategies. There's a lot of social deduction. There's a lot of trust issues when you're playing this game. It's really hard to trust just about anybody. And then once you've played the game some more, there are a couple of roles that you can add in. You can add in the assassin and the oracle. At the beginning of the game, everyone closes their eyes, and the spies all open their eyes to see who everyone is. If you're playing with the oracle and the assassin, after the spies close their eyes again, they place their thumbs up at the table with their eyes closed, and then the oracle opens their eyes and looks around. That way the oracle is also going to know who all of the spies are. Now you may not want to out yourself, because at the end of the game, if the resistance wins, the assassin can take a guess. They take a blind shot. I think that person is the oracle. So they're assassinating that person thinking they're the oracle. If they're right, then the spies win anyway, even if the resistance would have otherwise won the game. So you can't just out yourself as the oracle and say, I'm the oracle, this is what's going on, because then your team will lose. You have to figure out how to impart that knowledge to your teammates, who you know. You know exactly who's on your team. You need to garner their trust and get them to listen to you without giving yourself away. There's a lot of nuance to the game. The flavor goes really well and comes out in the game really nicely. I like the game, and it plays from, what does it say here? It's 5 to 10 players. So it starts at 5. You do have to have a decent player count just to be able to play the game, but it will play with a large number of people, and I like having a game that fits that group in my collection. So I'm really happy to have the Resistance in my collection. It is a fantastic game. I think you should all give it a shot. I think that's about all I've got to say for this one. I would like to thank our sponsors, Excelsior Games and Comics, Duo Bus Design, and Sound G Entertainment. And I'll see you out there in the Nerdverse.